In this video, I want to show you how to model the alignment guide. And so you're seeing the sketch for the alignment guide right now. And a couple of things about this. This plane here where it says 1.5 in width is intentionally in line with this corner right here. So that's one of the things that we have to know about this part. Another thing about this part is if we look at this plane here, we can see we have a datum on that plane. Datum B is right here. Datum C is on this top plane up here, and datum A would be coming in from the back side on that back plane there. And so one way to think about modeling this part is to look right down here at this image. If you imagine that the part is sitting on A, that the back of the part is on A, that the right side of the part is butted up against plane B. This vertical plane here would be plane B. And then if you move it in this direction until the top edge right here, which is datum C, comes in contact with this vertical plane right here, you actually have the part constrained in the way that the GD&T datums show you. So we have A on the back, B on the side, C on the top. So I'm going to actually model it that way. And so my origin will be right in here. And so I'm going to draw down from the origin and start this corner and start my part. Now the way I'm going to draw this is because it's a symmetrical part for the most part, and that's where this CL stands for center line that's running down through the middle of this thing, is I'm going to use the dimensions from the center line over in this direction here, like this 1.5, the 2.5, and the 3.5, and then the 0.75 and some of these angles that I have, the 30 degrees. And what I'm going to do first is draw half of the base, this part right here. And once I have that drawn, I'm going to extrude that 2.5, and then I'm going to mirror it with a mirror plane right on this edge over here, so that will create the other half. Then I'm going to come in and start a new sketch on the back edge of this, and I'm going to draw the sketch for half of this part that sits on top, and then using the same mirror plane, mirror that around to where I have the other half of it. And then I can add my countersunk hole, this slot that's cut through right here. It's not cut through, it goes down to 0.50. And then I'm going to add a hole on this side that is normal to this inclined plane, which means that it's perpendicular, so it's going to come straight through and come out the bottom down into here. And once I have that hole located, I'm going to mirror it over to the opposite side over there. So I'm going to click on Inventor. And so I've already started a new part file, and I want to make sure this is just a normal inches part. It's not a metric part. And I've identified where my origin is located. So actually when I started this, I used project geometry, and I projected my intersection of my Y, Z, and XZ planes onto my XY plane. And then I used the dimensions from the sketch to create half of the base. And you can see that that's located straight down 3.25. That's the total height of this object, except we don't have the part that sits on top right now. We're just drawing that first base, like I said. And then I can finish the sketch on that. And what I want to do at that point then is I'm going to go ahead and extrude that 2.5. And then I want to use plane, and I want to set a construction plane. And so I can do offset from plane, and I can spin this guy around, and I'm going to pick right on that plane right there and just pick check. So that's how I get this work plane that I have right here. And I can use that work plane then to use my mirror command. And so when it asks me for features, I'm going to choose this. And when it asks me for the mirror plane, I would choose that. And then I would just pick OK, and I would mirror the base. So I'm actually going to unsuppress this feature because I've already modeled this. So that's how I would get to there. The next thing that I would do is I want to edit or create a sketch. And I want to show you something about this sketch. When I began my new sketch, I actually began it on this back edge right here. And coming off of this corner, I started to draw what that shape would be. So I'm going to come around to this corner and kind of zoom in so you can see my dimensions in here. Let's go to the front view. And so I have a closed polygon right here that's sitting right on top of this and on the back edge of it. And what I'm going to do with that when it's finished is I'm going to extrude it 1.5 inches forward, right, in this direction right here. So let me go back here. And so I would just use my extrude command. I would finish the sketch and extrude this. But what I've done is I've already drawn that, so I've just suppressed that extrusion. So I'm going to go unsuppress it so you can see what it looks like. So once I've unsuppressed that, what I did next was I mirrored it. So I can turn this mirror off. Let me suppress that. So you can see that I just drew half of it. Now I wouldn't have the hole in it yet. Let me suppress that hole because that has not been done yet. So this is what it would look like, right? So I just extruded that 1.5, and then I would use this same mirror plane here and go to mirror and select this feature here. And when it asked me for my mirror plane, I would pick that and I would mirror this guy around like that. And since I've already done that, really then all I need to do is unsuppress that so you can see what it looks like. All right, the next thing that I want to do is to place a hole in here. So I'm just going to use my hole command and place it here on this surface and then identify where that hole is going to be located at. But I want to show you the type of hole that it is. Let me do something here, right click. I'm going to unsuppress it and double click on it. All right, so first off, I have to locate that hole right in the center where it's supposed to go based on the dimensions that we have. So the first thing I would do is locate that hole 2.5 inches from this right side here and 1.125 down from the top. The next thing you want to do is define the hole, and what it is, you can choose simple hole, it's not threaded, and then you can choose countersink. And then you want to come down here, and the diameter of the countersink is 0.875. The sides of the countersink are at an 82-degree angle relative to each side. And then the diameter for the smaller hole is 0.5. And to show you that, that is all right here. Diameter 50, that's the smaller hole that goes through. Countersink, that's what this symbol is, diameter 0.875 by 82 degrees, and that's what we're seeing there. So I'm going to come back to here, and so I'll pick OK, and that creates that hole through there like that. Go back to my home view. All right, now the next thing that I want to do is place a hole on this surface here, and the diameter of that hole is 0.25, and it is located up 0.58 and in 1.25, and it says there's two of these, 2 times diameter 0.25, which would mean we have one over here on the back side. So if we place this one first, we can mirror this one over to here using the same work plane that we have in the center of the part. All right, so let me go back here. So what I would do is just start a hole command on this and place it on that surface right there, and then pick on this edge here and type 0.58, and then pick from this edge here and type 1.25, and then I want to define that so it's just a simple hole. It's not countersunk or anything, so I would pick on this right here, and for the diameter for it, I'm just going to make it 0.25 and enter, and so there's that hole going through. And next I would use the mirror command, and it's on features. Whatever is darker here is what it's looking for. So I would pick that feature, pick on the mirror plane and select this, and then pick OK. And that mirrors that over here onto the side. And so pretty soon I have all of my tree done over here. Now that last hole that I added, I actually already had. So I'm just going to right click and delete that out and pick OK, that I want to get rid of that. And what I want to do instead is just unsuppress these features so that you can see how that turned out. Now, the reason I was showing you about suppressing features and unsuppressing them too is to show you that once you have your part made and you have your browser and you have all the features in the browser and all the sketches and everything, that you can right click on those guys and you can suppress them. So you can suppress everything from here down and just see the first part if that's what you want to see. And sometimes that's handy to be able to suppress a feature while you're doing something else with your part. So I just wanted to bring that out to you today. So when you're finished, this is what your front view will look like. Oh, you know what? We didn't put that top piece in here, the slot that we have. So let's go up here and see where that one is. I must have it suppressed somewhere in here. There it is, right there. Extrusion number 6. Let's go look at that sketch. Let's edit sketch so you can see what it looks like. So we're dimensioning from this edge to here, and we're placing a rectangle that's 0.875 wide. And then from the edge here to this edge, we want it to be 0.5. So that places that first rectangle. And then what we want to do is take our center line through this part and dimension over 2.5. That gives us the edge of this rectangle. And then from this edge of the rectangle, we want it to be 0.50. So it's actually 2 rectangles that overlap each other. So we can go up here and we can see what those look like. And so when we finish that sketch, we'll do an extrude. So let me finish that. And let me suppress the extrusion if I can there. All right, let's see if it'll let me do an extrude. No, it's going to lose my sketch. So what I want to do is just do the extrude on this sketch right here. And I want to do a cut, and I extrude that 0.5 deep. All right, so let me unsuppress that if I can here. Unsuppress features. So there's what that cut looks like that's on the top right there. Okay, now I'm finished with the part. I've got my holes on each side, and I'm ready to take this into an IDW and do a front view. My front view would become from this side, a top view and a right side view, and add all of my dimensions to it. So I've made another video that gets you started on that. All right, so good luck with this.